If you want to join Karnataka Judicial, you have to learn Kannada because it is not like that. English only is sufficient. For example, you see in Punjab and Haryana and all, Delhi people will go. In North Karnataka, North India, there is no difference because Hindi is the common language. You can join anywhere, any places because this Hindi is the common language. But when you come to North India, yes, if you want to join Kerala Judiciary, you must know the Malayalam. Similarly, if you want to join Tamil Nadu, you must know Tamil, Telugu, like that. Because without the language there, because the purpose is that you are serving the language known to them. Because otherwise, doctor profession or engineering, that and all can be done because you are not connected to the people directly. But it is not so when you are discharging your judicial work. Okay, for as you all know, even after becoming the judicial officer, the language is very important. It is also not the general language which you are having. There is one misconception that if I know English, I can go through the examination of judicial examination or any other competitive examination. I don't think so. This is not correct. For every field, there is a language particularly ruling that area. For example, in engineering, you can't speak the language of law. Similarly, in medicine, if you go medicine, you can't speak in a language which is generally speak. Similarly, even law is also having its own languages. So, translation is very important because it is the one of the people the most of the students will try. What happens is one will be proficient in English but may E5 in Kannada, vice versa. You may tell that another things of even if you know the English or Kannada language, that alone is sufficient. You must know the legal language. I mean, what I mean means legal means there is a particular meaning for a particular word, a particular way of putting it. Legal means in perspective. You can't write it in general English. That is what is used in a newspaper or in an article or in a novel. You cannot use it in an examination paper. So writing a judgment even in Kannada, mere knowledge of language or having the general knowledge is not sufficient. You must have the legal knowledge. How you can acquire it is the question. See, generally what happens is one of the hindrances or one of the shortcomings in our education system is that even we will also feel one Kannada medium or English medium. But I say that it must be mix of both. Even in colleges, while teaching it, we should hybrid. Again, I am saying, we should mix it up. Because language is mainly for communication. It is communication language is very easy that you can learn. Most of the English, even English medium students or the students or any person who study English, they have got the communicative language. They can speak very well in English. But when you ask them to write, there will be problem. Because you know that in language, writing, you must have the grammatical language. It is very grammar. Syntaxing of sentences you say. Because one sentence is to connect it to the other sentence. And it should come near. Because see, language is having its own benefit. Language you are seeing the people. There will be your hand signal will be there or see that you can catch that meaning. But it is not so when you are writing it. Your writing should convey the meaning. Should convey the proper meaning. That is the problem. So even after becoming the judge also, it is really necessary of having a mastery of two languages, testing specifically. Wherever you, because now somebody told that there is some not the persons who are not knowing the Kannada, so they can appear the examination wherever they go. Because primary thing is much. because it is a common curriculum, you can say, in entire India. It's not like that in Kannada. If you want to have the Kannada exam, because if you want to join the state judiciary, what is required is that the language command of that state. That is the requirement. If you acquire it and appear, nobody will prevent you. Because it is a constitutionally protected right. For example, I am from a border I am from Kasaragod. So I appointed here in Karnataka because our medium of our language, our medium of instruction, everything is Kannada. So basically Kannada because unfortunately was we are always thinking that we are the stateless people because not in either in other state or not in here you call as Keralians, there you call as Canadians. So you are the stateless people. You must know the real problem of this border people like us. See, you are not getting the job in Kerala because you are taught that you should hate Malayalam because you are a Kannadiga. So automatically we will reject Malayalam. We will start to hate Malayalam. Now I think I committed the mistake I should have studied Malayalam because it is a language. They see the hatred with us. So we are not learning Malayalam. You won't get a job in Kerala, but you won't get Kerala. When you come to Karnataka, you will be called as Kerala. You are coming here. So it is happening to all borders, wherever the border problem is there. And I am joking, I used to tell you, we are speaking at Jammu and Kashmir problem and some international border problems. But even after becoming 70 years, you are not able to solve all family problems. It is just like a family problem. Our border, you are not able to solve it. We are speaking of international border dispute and all. That is the funny thing of our system. Everything politics will creep in and somebody will take the benefit of it. Sufferers are the persons who are deciding there. See, for example, because I have some time and taking it general. For example, in Kasaragod, so many have sold their property and come to Karnataka because neither Kutta, that is one Hindi, is neither, that is the position of so I'm emphasizing here on that we should learn, have the languages. So again I'm telling that most of the exams, most of the students, what the persons who are aspiring to become the judicial officers are failing because of lack of language. I'm not speaking about speaking language or writing language alone. Writing legally, that is very important. Legal writing will how they come later. But there are two types of people. This is also jokingly telling. Some are having Kannada flema. Why? Because they do not know English. Such Kannada should not be there. You should know the language, then you have to love our language. That is also happening. You should not be a Kannadiga only because I don't know English or other languages. Actually, Kannada is protected, you are also protected. Even having border, this one you have saved it. Or you can see, language is required to understand the law and perform well in translation paper. Which subject is generally hard to crack. Mastering one language is not sufficient. You must understand that the subject is included to ascertain the language proficiency. So again I am telling why that language is good. Because you have to serve in India, in Karnataka, in the ground level you have to work. You can't speak in English if a farmer is coming before you to seek the justice or find a suit. That is the one thing. You must learn the grammar of both languages. So grammar is not one language you are doing. Grammar is both. So in Kannada there is a lot of, especially in law, the language is very, very important, especially in recording the evidences and in interpretation of the documents, how it is interpreted. past tense, present tense, future tense, everything, condition speech, everything you should learn. I am telling both languages. You will get the languages of both the documents of having both languages. Translation paper. You will have, I already told you, you have to translate to, one is the judgment, one is the deposition, another one is the documents. So if translation is not an exact translation. The translation means you should convey the meaning of that document or what it says. Unless you have the grammar in English or Vyakarana in Kannada, it is not possible. So that is one. I am always telling, even to our judicial officer and even I am also having a copy of Pen and Martin. It is the Bible for grammar as far as English is concerned. Everybody must have it because that is one thing. For Kannada also you have to take the grammar book. Do not have the impression that again I am telling here I know English, I can speak fluently. That is not the requirement. That is not what the examiner, the judicial, the system wants. System wants that you must communicate what you know. You must know what they are saying, and you must communicate it through, not through writing. For writing you require grammar, this one. So it's not under English. Both languages are very important. And most of the time, it is difficult to get a Kannada legal words. Remember it. Very, very difficult to think. For example, you will say documents. What is the equivalent word? It is difficult. Dastavej. Abatement. Konegulusuki. Cause of action. Vyachikarana. Issues. Vivadamsha. So very difficult to get the words. So if you really want to, because it is a serious exercise. It is not a, because advocacy okay, and the advocacy law it is now changed. Now it is very, very short of that subject is the law. You may be knowing that. So you must know. So Kannada is very difficult. English words you may get it because there are a lot of books. Almost all the statutes comes in English. All decisions are coming in English. Even judgments, trial courts or higher courts, whatever you are getting, the judgments or orders or charges or issues are from in English. So it is hard to get the legal rules. What is the way for that? I will deal with that a little later. So I again telling you, general translation is different from translation of judgments and documents and depositions. So one another thing is the time management. We will not have a luxury of time. You can't say that I will translate it in easier. You should translate it in a time. 3 hours time is given. So you have to translate it in judgment, one document, one deposition. So that is one thing. So general translation, read the English statements and then it's the translated statements. So it is available, easily available in 2 ways. One is some online resources are there, you will now get the CDG is there, or some artificial intelligence also you can, in Supreme Court also you are getting the vernacular judgments and orders in vernacular languages. You can translate it, maybe you go through that, there is a SSC e-journal from the Supreme Court. There are so many languages have been, so many judgments are translated to the regional languages. It may be Hindi, Oriya, Malayalam, Kannada, wherever it may be. So you get both judgments. Read it, translate it, then note out the small legal words which you are not understood. And try to use that language. So get all the documents, all documents which are produced in the court, certificate copies of the documents or xerox copies of the documents. You get it. So many platforms are providing the judgments in vernacular language. GALR. In the morning I said it is a free repository. Anybody can register it. But you have to give this, I think, students' roll number or something like that. So you may be having it. If you go to the Karnataka High Court website, you will get the GALR test. You can connect it. So you can get the judgment of English and same the Kannada judgment also. You search for that, you will get it by name. You can search it and you can do it. So in ALR you get the Kannada judgments, get the equivalent judgments in English. Comparing one, the CDJ also translated judgments are what is available. Don't be dependent upon too much. It is AI regulated. It is translation is through AI. Now, for example, now most of the statutes are translated by using artificial intelligence, but it is not really conveying the meaning. Even I wrote a harsh letter to one of the publisher of Karnataka stating that we should not use the AI to translate it, and because it has completely, it is not conveying the real meaning of what the real statute means. So that is one thing. Many platforms are providing translated judgments are available. You have to study writing. Writing will help you do this. Because see, what happens is in writing, you will have the synchronization between your mind and hand. It is one benefit you are having. That you are slowly getting eroded nowadays. But writing is very, very important. As a preparator of children, I used to write the judgment, translated judgment, I used to translate and write it. Even now, I prefer writing the judgments in writing. Handwriting judgments, I generally like I will write hand and give it to the steno or type it and do, because I like it, because it will have a coordinated between the mind and the writing exercise. So your handwriting is also improved. So one of the other thing is handwriting improved, because see, as a severe letter, you have to understand it. If your handwriting is not good, then any language, any knowledge will not be put into this one. Practically it cannot be. So language is handwriting also important. Only one way is reading, writing. That is only the way to improve language. Edit plus time management. So time management is also, you have not the luxury of having a time of your own. So within that time, it is also one type of evaluation. Whether you are able to write it within a time. It is also evaluated by us. So practice daily. Here the podcasts, small podcasts we are available. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. For example, live law, weekly wisdom comes, daily they chassis, or so many are there. Don't go for 1 hour or 2 hours. Just have a podcast. Note down it. In Kannada also we are getting, there is one bar, there is some Kannada YouTube also, they are giving their own versions, their own this one, that you can go to them. So documents with the subtitles available in OTT and all. You may be knowing Netflix, Hotstar, so many are there. So you can synchronize the language and hearing and with the title, English to Kannada, Kannada to English, both are you getting. So that you can use it. So timetable like that. Again, I'm telling, we can try for preparing for the judges is a serious job. Available, watch them, reading the newspaper, particularly editorials. We are telling, for example, Hindu editorials or any other paper, any this one. I'm not advertising for I'm telling any paper take editorial, because it is corrected by this one. There will be grammatical corrections will be there. So one of the way to learn the vocabulary is an instrument you are having. And so you can daily 1 or 2, there is one word is that I am not getting it. Just having notebook, small notebook, write English words finally. Daily 1 or 2, 10, minimum 10, or if you learn it by the end of month, how much you will have vocabulary build up, especially legal vocabulary is very, very difficult. How to learn by your own. For example, there are so many legal this there. So articles will help them learn vocabularies and form sentence. Forming the sentence is very, very essential. I am not saying, don't be under the impression that I am saying only about the English. Kannada is also very, 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 very important. Language, grammar means not, don't be under the impression that it is only for Kannada. Don't be under the impression that I know Kannada, I can crack the judicial examination. If you are not having the proficiency in both languages, then it is almost it's a difficult, not I saying it is not enhance the auxiliaries to form the sentence. It is essential for effective writing, formation of sentence. Correct syntactic means if you plural, would take it in plural way. If you are indirect speech, if you are passive, active voice, whatever you are using, use it in a right. That is the syntax. So correct syntax will ensure the sentences are not grammatically correct but also easily comprehensible to the evaluator. So in the same respect in both languages, again, do not under the impression that it is only telling you it's legal glossaries. So I am having 2 books of my own. It is available even in free. This is available. So Karnataka government has released the Kannada English legal glossaries. You can get it, you can download it, or you can purchase it also from the website. But you must have that. So abatement. What is abatement in common language? What is abatement in legal language? To every language, and that is why in the morning I said there is a lot of difference between using the meaning in a ordinary meaning. You are conveying the meaning differently when you are using it in a legal sense. Cause of action, cause means karma, reason. But when you use it in a legal sense, it is a reason for filing the suit. What is that? Everybody will ask. There will be a question. What is the cause of action for filing the suit? You have come to the court. What is the reason? This is the cause of action. Vajya karma, subvertment. On death of the party, the case will be appealed. Correct. End of that. There may be different meaning in legal, in an ordinary language. So there is a lot of such words, you can this one. So use a notebook to make the note of the new legal words we have learned both in Kannada and English. Using them in a proper way. So sometimes Google translation also will help, but I advise not to rely on much. Just cross check it. So Judgeship, certainly not, because maybe if you are following the laws properly. Recently, Karnataka High Court has taken serious note of it, and it was even directed to take action against the judicial officer who has written the order by mentioning the judgments which is found in Judgeship, but actually the judgment itself is not. Because you may be knowing in USA that same thing is happening in USA also. He created one clear judgment stating that such a legal proposition is laid down and produced it before the court and got the order. So it is happening, but don't be go to that extent. So Judgeship, don't remind me. Write a judgment. See, I should not tell it, but you may be knowing also. If you write a judgment stating that yes, Vishnu has committed the accident by telling his vehicle variant number dash dash in a Russian engine variant. Within a 10 seconds, there will be judgment. So yeah, that is one thing. So don't depend upon Judgeship because it has no legal basis. And they are not using in the morning I said raw material, raw data they are having. Their data is not verified. Unless verified data, if Judgeship is produced, if Judgeship is used, Judgeship is I am asking about artificial intelligence. We take refined data, then it will give the result. For example, our judiciary is using the data, artificial intelligence in many ways. For example, you get the case data within a most state. But the data available there is verified. That is why it is giving proper answers. So in almost all judicial work, I think at least in administrative work, 20-25%, 30% artificial intelligence is being used 100%, and it will be used more and more. But it cannot be used from the data available outside this one because it is unverified data. For example, you may be knowing, for example, if you know a group of people, they all say that particular percentage, deep. His name is titled, you will get that. He said, that is the material you are giving. It is only artificial intelligence, nothing new. It is always artificial. Believe it. Okay. It is never be a real intelligence. Grammar is very important. Understanding the law also it is very important. Grammar is very, very important. See, I first when I begin, I said literal interpretation. What is the literal interpretation? Literal interpretation, nothing but grammatical interpretation. There are a lot of purposive interpretation. There are a lot of interpretation you may be involved in. But literal interpretation, especially trial courts have to lean towards the use of literal interpretation because you don't have the power of interpreting the statement. I can't say that easy is written, it should have been was. Or easy is written, it should have been are. It is only having the constitution. As a trial court judge, I should give a literal meaning and I say that yes. In one judgment, I will. There is a decision to the effect that DNA on the basis of the DNA report alone, conviction cannot be handed over. I had not seen that decision. My finding would have been different. But as because of this decision, I think that I cannot go behind that, and I have held that it is not sufficient to hold that is alleged. So there is one. So I am telling it in a broader way. So I am telling here my purpose is that grammar is very much required to understand the statements. You can't use your talking English or your coloring languages. You can't use it in statements. So grammar is very important in understanding the and for translation also. So there is one joke is going around this. Court is granted the bail or court is granted the temporary injunction. What it does mean really? Grammatically, what it means? Something is granted to the court. No court has granted. So if you write it, how it should be written? Court has granted. Court has granted temporary injunction or court grants temporary injunction. So there is a fine tuning of the language. That is the point. So you may be knowing that this one there is a one joke around it, no? Comma saved a person. You may be knowing that. So judges dictated to the judgment like that hang him, comma, not hang him, comma, not leave him. The stenographer typed it as hang him, not comma, leave him. Hang him not. Then put the comma. Leave. So, no punishment at all. It means it goes, first one is that hang him, not allow him to leave. Second was sentence, because of the comma, what happened? Hang him not, leave. So similarly, there is one story that because the king is very cruel king and he ordered that captured army man. That is to be deported to Siberia. So, he sought for the pardon. It seems. So, he said, pardon impossible, comma, to send it to Siberia. So, the king is very empathetic and she thought of doing something. So, what she did is, she erased that comma and written that pardon, comma, impossible to send it to Siberia. So that is why I am telling you that the language is in Kannada there is sometimes a complex question. Neenu udadana bittadu ninna tandege gotta. What does it mean? And then, but once upon a time you was taking alcohol. Now, yes sir. If it is answered that yes, what does it give? Meaning. I was drinking, I was not told about my drinking habit to my mother. It is said no, I am still continuing my drinking habit. So language is such a funny thing, such a this one. So it is happening. So in complex questions. So the translation will become like that. You should be very careful. In judgment writing also, when you are appreciating all the evidences. See, in will dispute, it was my senior wanted to show that you are the beneficiary. Allah, you are dependent, and the question was put by other counsel, and my senior opposed it, stating that it is a complex question. Either of answer will give till insight indicate my client. So indirect my client. That is the thing he said. So that is the language. So how you can understand it? Only by grammar, par, vyakaran. So again I am telling, grammar there is one more thing. Why judges, why the examination is like that? Means there is one say, judge must know. Judge must know something about everything, but not everything about something. Judge must know. You know forensic science, you must know what is the PF report, you must know what is the handwriting, you must know the law, because everything is to be decided by me, whether the death is homicidal or not. I have to, yes, of course, there will be opinion. Whether that opinion is biased, whether the opinion is supported by this one, I have to write. Sometimes judges are referred as experts of experts. That is the way. Because ultimately, handwriting expert, you can book a handwriting expert or any expert. Or if it is comes before the court, then the court has to evaluate whether that opinion was proper. So that means I am a perfect in one field. Is it sufficient? I am a PhD holder in civil law or TPA or whatever. Is it sufficient? No. Because I have in the next short span of period, I was promoted in the month of 2020 and posted as a session court and civil judge and OS court for 6 months. From there, family court, then the labor court, then POXO court, and all. Within a span of 3 years and 6 months, I was asked to officiate four specialized courts. Family court is specialized court, labor court is specialized court, session court is first, it is no non-specialized, POXO court is specialized court. So in that we have to get prepared. So that is why I judgment now. Because I can't say that I don't know, I know only family matters. Or I didn't practice criminal side, I know only civil side. That is why the exams are also patterned like that. They will ask criminal judgments, criminal translations, OAS, everything they will ask. You know, the writing of criminal judgment, framing of the charges, framing of the issues, everything will be there in that chapter. So that is one aspect. So another thing is that I am telling again that if you are about keeping my confidence in the cornerstone again, see, if you are having the armories in your disposal, you will get a 10 to 5. Otherwise, you will feel that you cannot get it. So if you all this, if you are having, then you will get the confidence. Because confidence is also very important. In any exam, in any concrete exam, at least 10% it adds. So this one. So I am telling translation is very important paper, and to study is only to hand-on practice. Nothing more than don't be under the impression that I write the right way. No, you have to translate it. You have to write it. For other exams, I won't tell. Maybe your handwriting or writing skill may not be required, but judicial exams you must have the writing speed, writing skill. So if your handwriting is hopelessly bad, this will benefit also, because if there are so many things you write, as you write, I should know it, and I written something there, and I will do some answers. But it all depends upon the writing. But handwriting is also very important. So again, I am telling comparative provisions, procedures. See, there are some tricks to write is that if you write the provisions, you will become the letter that yes, you know that provision. You further write on that, they will go on adding up the marks. But at least 2 marks you get when you write the provisions. For example, in Constitution, if you ask anything, If you are right, you are right to ask about the fundamental duties. If you Article 19, if you are right, yes, you know something. For Chapter 3, fundamental rights, yes. That is the way. So, write the provisions, quote the provisions. Generally, most of the time, another problem is that generally there will be a time constraint for us also because all the I should not tell you, but we are coming by giving our judicial work. So don't keep it waiting for long. So we will correct it so far. That means we will not have time to go through entire. It will be just generally there will be. If your provisions are written, then any bodies are started with a proper way, then we get marks. So that is the way of correction. It is not like that each of them, everything will be lined up, everything is written, not, evaluation is not like that. Evaluation, not like that. We will just still write it, either we written that the format is there, okay, judgment is written, we have properly set out this station, then somewhere we will put it to the grammatical aspect, then we will go on correction. So, there is I think, it is already closing it with some more hours. So, stopping here. So there is so many things you can mix together. You can tell there is lot of things you can give. So yeah, last moment everybody told when I added there will be pulse, there will be salary. Yes, everything is there. Any job, more than salary and status, the opportunity to serve the opportunity people will be very important. Which is giving the real joy for the person. As I say, I individually am telling, I never know what was the salary that I joined. Even I don't know, now also I don't know what was the real salary, prescribed and notification. We got 10,000 or something. So, more than salary status, opportunity to serve the people is important. On that subject, I can tell how we can help the needy people. Lot of people. There is one way of saying that there is one way of saying getting the government job is difficult. Everything is reservation. But continuing the job is easy. Once you get into that, then but it is not so like that in a private job because private job easy to get now. Even campus they will come and pick you up and go take you. But there, what is the policy of probably private job? Do you know? Performance? Cash. Otherwise, 3 months, basically. Or no promotion, nothing. It is not this one. So, how our honesty, integrity, immediately after becoming the judge, I went one incident I want to tell. I had been to a fellow for having and two just and one of them was just interviewed and just attending an interview. The other one asked, what is the salary? Maybe what is his answer? No? He said, don't ask about the salary. There is a lot of that is the mindset of a young person who has come out of the college, who just about 1 year back. It is very, I'm really disturbed on it because see, such mentality people are there. You can't believe it. So, that is one. So, different, everybody aware of the fundamental right. So, this one. So again, I'm joking. See, practice is totally different. Practical approach. Again, I'm told to forget it. Please join the executive office who is having very good practice in the civil and criminal. There we get practical experiences. How to accuse are to do. You get all the office. You get the charge sheet, you get the remand application, you get this one. You can follow the case. You can note it down what happened, how it can run. So, if the practice is made mandatory, I think it will be made maybe 1 year or 2 years. That will be time. I don't know, but it is my belief because I am following that case. Somebody might have heard here, might have observed me. He is telling so many things. He was playing with the mobile. He is not giving the mobile. I have got 6 groups. I am sharing the knowledge. I am not playing with this one because so many young persons are sitting here. They will feel that judges have this in mobile. I'm having 6 groups of legal this one. Whatever information comes, I will attend to it and I will add it and share with the others. That is what I am doing because I am always learning. I have a principle. I will not tell what I have. And I am the last person to do that. I will not tell the things which I am not doing, which I am not practicing. That is my policy. So, implementation somebody, there is one joke. One person wrote a book, How to Make the Money, and then to publish it, he approached the person for loan. For that also he wrote it since. No, you read it and then publish. So, tell it to others. So, again I am telling Kannada, yes, Kannada remains. I am telling you, you are sacrificing a lot of Kannada. But not for the reason that I don't know English. If I don't know English, then my Kannada remains very much. That should not be. Love all the languages. See, there is one psychological effect existing. The more language you learn, more IQ will be more. You know nursing law, you know German language. So you may know, okay, Mongolian people are not, I'm Mongolian, don't be inspired. What is their advantages? They know minimum 3 to 4 languages. As a Mongolian or Mongolian side, I know Kannada, I can Urdu, I can know Malayalam. That is the basic language from the conception of the language. So border people are having that network. So everybody is everybody have fundamental rights. Nothing wrong. But at the same time, you must know the fundamental duties. According to me, you all must apply the right duties contained under Article 51A. I like what this to strive towards the excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activities so that the nation positively rises to the higher level of renewal and achievement. Be a